More stamped one.
This payment?
You're on.
Oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? So, this is PNF 101. Okay, so we're just going to start with the basics. So, you have symmetry versus asymmetry, or symmetrical versus asymmetrical, which means that either they're both in D1 or they're both in D2. That is called symmetry. Asymmetry means one in D1, one in D2. Okay, and then you have, Gina, please.
Take two?
No. Now you have bilateral versus reciprocal. Reciprocal meaning one's an extension, one's an inflection. Bilateral mean they're both an inflection or they're both an extension. So there you have the basics for everything you need to know. So, let's get out of here, Gina. Let's begin. So this is D1, just in case you didn't know. Oh, let me just do one. Oh no, that's D2.
That's
Sorry.
D2.
That's alright.
D1.
D1 flexion, yeah.
Flexion. Hand, turn, down, extension. Again. Hand, turn, up.
I'm like, why is there a black mark? Look what happened.
So that's D1.
I know
And this is D2. And extension, hand, turn, up. I get my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Down. So there you have basics.
Yes.
You want to keep going?
No, that's fine.
Okay, so let's start with the basic pattern. The most basic is symmetrical bilateral. So here's D1 symmetrical bilateral. Starting in extension, turn up, and going up to flexion, turn, and going down back into extension. You can see that they're both symmetrical because they're both in D1, and they're both bilateral because they're both in flexion, and then they both go down to extension. D2, you have, Gina, shut up. Did I do D2 already?
No.
D2, bilateral symmetrical. Here, starting in extension, going up to flexion.
Y'all take this video
Back down.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. The most basic pattern.
Yes.
Now, we're going to move on. Symmetrical, reciprocal. That means they're both still in the same diagonal, but one will be in flexion and one's an extension. So D1,
Mm-hmm.
reciprocal, symmetrical. So you start one in extension, and one will start in flexion. And you switch, and you switch. My hands are all jacked.
Right.
Don't pay attention to that. D2, reciprocal, symmetrical. One starts in extension, one starts in flexion. And you switch. Oh, did I do that right? No, sorry.
I know what you meant though.
Scratch here.
Leg.
Here. Here.
Reciprocal
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, on to a little harder. On to asymmetrical bilateral. D1, asymmetrical. No, you can't have D1 because it's asymmetrical. So you're going to have D1 and D2.
Mm-hmm.
So they're bilateral, so I'm going to start with both of them in extension. So one, this is D1 in extension, D2 in extension.
Right.
And then you go up to flexion for both of them, and you come back down. Got that? One
Yes.
more time? And back down. Now, that was what I just said. Now we're going on to
Take 10.
Reciprocal, asymmetrical. That was reciprocal. I mean, oh no, that was bilateral.
That was bilateral,
Now we're going to
asymmetrical.
reciprocal, asymmetrical. Totally different animal. Rubber hits the road. Rubber hits the road here, buddy. So, D1, we're going to have D1 in extension. We're going to have D2 in flexion. And we're going to switch. And we're going to switch. So there you have it. The basic upper extremity PNFs.
Fantastic.
101.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
Gina, you have any words?
That was beautiful. Can I say that?
Downstairs.
Oh, downstairs! Send in
Grammy.
alumni letters. Get money when they ain't got no money.
Pay me, son.
This is what you do. We're working at the mail factory.